Hello, this is Glorious Cow, and this is a tutorial on how to use a hard drive with Marty PC. The first thing you're going to need to do, is either a distribution of Marty PC, or you've built the source release. If you've built the source release, what you want to do is go into the target release directory and find the executable. And you're going to just copy that, and you're going to come over here to the install directory. This represents the distribution directory. This is what I zip up and what I upload as an artifact on releases at GitHub. And you're going to want to paste MartyPC exe in here. I've already got one in there. You should also have your TOML file in there as well. Other than that, the directions are going to be the same. So I'm just going to unzip this little distribution here and go into it. The first thing we want to do is copy our ROM over. To have a hard drive, we need to have a Xebec controller ROM. Xebec was a manufacturer of hard disks and controllers, and IBM tapped them to design the controller for the original IBM XT. So if we want a hard drive, we've got to have the ROM that runs the controller. So we're going to come over to Media and ROMs, and this is where we're going to drop the Xebec ROM. The easiest way to get the Xebec ROM is from 86box. If you've got a distribution installed of it, go into ROMs, HDD, ST506, and you're going to go the IBM Xebec blah blah blah.bin. You're going to copy that sucker, and you're going to come back here and you're going to drop it in ROMs. Okay, and then we're going to go back to our main directory, and we need to edit our configuration file. And this is where I think I tried to be helpful, but I made it worse for folks. See how there's two config names? The idea was that you would delete this one and uncomment this line to enable the hard drive. This references a machine configuration. Now, I'll show you the machine configurations. They're in here under machines. If we look at IBM 5160, you can see that there is a plain IBM 5160 machine profile, and then there is a IBM 5160 HDD, and what the HDD version has, it has a Xebec controller, and it specifies this VHD to autoload, and we'll see that in action too. So let's come back and just run MartyPC now, and if we look over here in the media, look, we don't have a hard drive. So what did we do wrong? So let's go back into our MartyPC.toml. Oh, look, I forgot to save. That would do it. So let's make sure that we save this guy. Now that this is saved, we can run MartyPC. And now we have a hard disk, and now we notice that it's telling us the machine must be off to make changes. But there is the default image already attached. Now, I want to show you how to set it up from scratch, so I'm going to actually delete that image. So we're going to come in here to Media, Hard Drives, and I'm going to delete the included Xebec VHD, and I'm going to rerun MartyPC. Now, whenever you mess around with the hard drive, you do have to have the computer off, so I'm going to power it off, and you'll see there's no image attached now, and there's nothing available in the load image menu. So I'm going to create a new VHD. I'm going to call it tutorial. Notice it puts the VHD on there for you. If you type VHD, it's just going to ignore that. The geometry, you've only got 20 megabyte available. There were 4 geometries available in the Xebec controller. There are 2 10 megabytes and 2 20 megabyte drives. I just assumed you'd want a 20 megabyte and wouldn't care which one. So I only have one geometry really you can pick from. That will change in the future as I add more controllers. Anyway, we're going to create a VHD, and if we come back over here and look in our HDD folder, we see the new tutorial VHD. Cool. So back in MartyPC, I have to rescan the media folders, and then I should see this available to mount. And now it's loaded down here. So now that we've rebooted the machine, we can see that GlabOS sees the 20 megabyte hard drive, but we can't boot from it because the hard drive is blank. So what we need to do is come over here and load a FreeDOS boot disk, and I'm going to reboot the computer. You'll get some errors about the partition table. I'm not really sure what that's about, but you can ignore them. If you're using MS-DOS 3.3, which I'd really recommend over FreeDOS, you won't see those. The first thing I'm going to do is run fdisk. This is pretty much identical to the MS-DOS version, so the instructions will be the same. We don't want FAT32 support. We want to create a primary DOS partition. So we're going to pick 1 for all the options. We want to use the maximum size available, so we'll leave this yes. Now we can hit escape, escape, escape. And we do have to reboot and FreeDOS for the format command to work. So we'll do that, leaving the disk in the drive. Takes a little while. Once we're at the DOS prompt, we can type format C. We do have to type yes, the full word to confirm. I'm going to put in just Marty for my volume name. It's going to format much faster than you remember that taking. And notice we have 20 megs available. Now we're going to transfer the system. This is a sysc. It's going to spit out a little warning about it can't find command com. I don't know why it does that. You can ignore that because it obviously does find command com, as we will see in a little bit. If you're using MS-DOS, you can just use the MS-DOS installer that can walk you through partitioning and installing all of this. Probably the easiest thing to do. If we do a DRC now, we should see command.com and kernel sys. So now all I should be able to do is eject the FreeDOS boot disk, come over here and reboot, and we should boot directly from the C drive. Hit enter for the date and time, dir, cool. Now you can start installing things like the rest of the DOS utilities and set up your autoexec, config bat, and your drivers, and have all fun with DOS, just like it was 1984 again. Hope this helped. Thank you and goodbye.